Ready? Okay. Welcome to Broom Talk, the podcast where witches, healers, and magic makers gather to share their journeys, their magic, and their truths. I'm your host, Priestess Mellisa of Enchanted Dragonfly, inviting you to take a seat at the broom circle because the real magic is in the stories we tell. So let's stir the cauldron and speak the spell. So I have another magical being with me today. So tell us your name and your business name.
Well, my name is Erica. My business is Elfin Ooaks. Started a few years ago with that, with a more grounded name. Started as a hobby, but I am,
Nice. What is it that you do?
Well, what I mainly focus on is creating magical or, intention, wreaths. I'm typically guided with how to put them together. So I follow whatever comes to the heart, whatever comes to my mind or soul or how I feel it guides, or sometimes, I'll call them the Fae. Because sometimes they get very, how do I put it? Like almost pestering, like you have to do exactly as this is, or, I found myself looking for a particular something that has to go. So either a particular crystal because it just goes with the rest, either because it's a healing, or a protection crystal, and you have to do that. You can't, divert out of that direction. So sometimes, I just throw them together to be a little more decorative, but everyone is one of a kind. I also do special orders, requests, suggestions, and so forth.
Wow, and they're beautiful.
Thank you very much.
Absolutely. And where are you located?
I don't have a store. I have a small craft room in my house that I've been working out of for a few years now. My wreaths are available through retail over at Touch of Magic in Uxbridge. I also do markets here and there as I can. I'm trying to pick up speed. I see you have a few coming up, so I'm hoping to get into April. We'll see how that goes.
Absolutely.
But it's a small thing. And
nice. Keeps busy.
Yeah, it keeps me busy. I'm busy outside of that. So
yes, of course, absolutely. Yeah. And how did you start doing what you do?
This is interesting. It actually goes back almost 15 years, but when I really got into making the wreaths, it came to a family gathering of the women got together to make these wreaths. And little flowers, teach everybody's their own, but more your, better homes and gardens style, which isn't me, and that's okay. And I'm like, I could not get the creative out of me. But I remember this tiny little wreath. It was just a little grapevine wreath with a ribbon star that was put into it and a little satchel of lavender. And I'd gotten that years ago in a time that I needed. It was a challenging and darker place in my life, and it called to me, and it was a healing thing for me to recover from grieving and some other things. And so I was like, you know what, I'm gonna make one for me more, and I'm gonna do more to this, and I'm gonna put more in, into this. I'm going to make this wreath, and I still have that original one sitting in my living room. And I just went from there. I enjoyed doing it. And like I said, it came to, and suddenly I'm being like tool guided, and joy when I see people who purchase them, because you see when ones are called to it, like this is the style they need. I can't explain that, but
they have that connection.
That connection, exactly.
It's right. Like when they pick the crystal or something, if they see that wreath and all the whatever is on that particular wreath, because everyone is different, so they'll connect to it and then be like, I need that in my life.
Right. And mostly I use dried moss, dried flowers, sometimes little miniatures, crystals, crystal beads, pendants. So it's an eclectic mix of whatever. I prefer the more natural based, and sometimes harvest more natural things like the mushrooms on the one that I gave you. And those I really enjoy, but it's kind of harder to come by a lot of those.
Yes, especially with the season changing.
Yes, exactly.
But that makes it even more special.
Because every season I get a different type of, natural representation. So
absolutely. Nice. Love that. And what type of practitioner are you?
So I never learned actual words, if that's just it. I'm very solo independent, I guess. I think that's how we go. I pretty much did this journey my whole life. So things since, I was younger, and you can't explain them, and you're experiencing them. And I think for actually to go into it, a lot of us women have gone through a lot in that journey, questioning ourselves, what are people questioning us, and so because of that, and also because of things that I experience and the gift that comes to me, and I find I have not found others to, like, I have a community, over in Uxbridge and so forth, but I still I'm not going to classes, so I'm like kind of my own independent person,
solo practitioner,
right? But I hope that as time goes and as time frees up, I'm able to grow a little bit more with a group or so forth.
Nice. Yeah. I started as a solo practitioner too, been like that. So I don't have a coven or anything like that. So there's nothing wrong with that for sure. Nice. What is your spiritual origin story or an awakening moment?
Like I was saying, when I was younger, things would happen. Like so a spiritual awakening moment. Like I listened to this question before, and for everybody it's so different, and I feel mine is it has always been there since I was little. Now, interestingly enough, raised in a church, and I've always felt a very strong relationship since I was a child with the prophet that is known as Christ or Jesus. And my first offering before I could speak, I guess I was told that they asked, it was my bottle and so forth, and I would cry during the different, just feeling this bond. But looking back at it now and understanding it, it was this connection with something greater, being kind, and so other things were happening. And it goes in there, and somehow this transition, more natural, and it sounds, how do I explain it? Visions, dreams, and next thing I know, I'm taking out like Laurie Cabot books, and I'm exploring world religions. And when it came down to it, though, I think I don't always know if witch is the word for it, but that resonates the best to encompass what I have, what I believe in.
Yeah.
And, like, I'm so
magical
sorry.
practitioner.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
that's
all
right.
Awakening has been a lot of experiences. I'm sorry, like through deaths and also veil openings and connections and receiving more messages and just stronger energy growth. Like, sorry.
No, don't apologize. That's awesome, because it's you're getting that connection and that information from the universe, and you're reading the books, and I've read her books too. Her books are fantastic,
Right.
and it's very common. Like, so many people are walking that same path.
Right. And it gets a little more interesting is that I also grew up in powwow circuits. So my stepfather was Native American and on a drum circle, or on a drum, I should say. And they still actually are out there drumming at different powwows. And so I was raised in this community of earthen beliefs. And I think, going back to where I started earlier, and then you combine it with the earthen, and there are so many
similarities.
So not similarities. No, I mean, yes, but it really sculpted who I am.
Yeah.
So and meanwhile, getting visions, and I'll let you ask the next.
That's okay.
Yeah.
I get what you're saying, though, for sure. What's your daily spiritual or magical practice like?
For daily, for me, magical practice, if it's called magical, is, how do I work this? And I don't have a word for this. So I find myself in places that souls need me.
Okay.
It can be anything from joyous moments to moments of crossing over. I am put in positions where I've noticed profound effects on changes, and it doesn't mean that I'm healing them directly, but being a voice for the voiceless, or sensing somebody is in danger before they're in, or as they're, and to be there in that response to help. That's my daily practice. So I'm not really doing rituals. I'm receiving messages, and sometimes not even messages. I'm just there, and then I know what I'm doing or what I'm supposed to be doing.
Like a feeling.
Right.
Yeah, nice.
And unfortunately, I'd love to share stories, but I also feel like some of them are very confidential in a way.
Exactly.
Right?
That's okay. Yep. No, I would never ask to betray any confidentiality. That's fine. You don't have to
but for those
share.
people,
But
right?
yeah.
So
that's important stuff that you do.
It's heavy though.
Oh, I bet.
Extremely heavy.
I bet.
So
yeah, absolutely. Who or what inspires your path the most?
What? It wasn't just one, but many.
Nice.
And by their contributions and the things that they've taught me. So when I was younger, didn't have like someone to look up to or help on that path. But what I realized a few years back, when everything started to really hit me in the face, and it was like, this is definitely what it is. You are accepting this, you're going. All of these witches started appearing. And I don't mean new people. I mean people in my life that had been supporting me through development and actually being rock solid people that would help me and believe me, and I'm just be like, all right, whatever, so and so is great. They believe this stuff that I'm experiencing, wonderful. And it was like, I kind of joke with some of my friends. It was kind of like Harry Potter when everybody starts coming out of like the trees and the bushes, and he's just like, whoa, and they're like, we've been watching you,
That's awesome.
And when one of them passed away, and this is something I will share, it was my dear sister, best friend throughout life, her father, and I didn't know fully that he was a bard, and he was part of a coven. And I didn't find that out basically until it was getting too late, it was like right at the end of the game when that happened. And so the necklace that I'm wearing, when he was passing away, the days prior to that, is that okay if I share? I was suffocating, and so was he. So I also sometimes feel the physical experiences as well. But I felt a breeze come around, and then I saw him tell me, it was this communication, and he presented and told me at the same time that he had something, and his daughter was going to give it to me and to ask her about it. So she told me he'd passed, and I said, I know, honey, and she knows about it. So I said, he was here, he and he's moved on. I said, he wants you to give me, or is there a box? There's a box. And so this would go on where he'd make signs, and I did get the box, but within it was his pentacle or pentagram. And I'd never bought one ever. And that's, again, it's a collection of everything and how it came together, because it was other friends of his, and within his coven, who I find out now was friends of my family. And these are the people that were starting all connected. and they all knew each other, but
awesome.
but I know them on different sides of the ball field, you know.
Yeah.
But they were all there to support,
That's awesome.
you know. And so, sorry.
No, that's all right. I wonder if you have like a mix of like a mediumship and a almost like a death doula, where you help transition. You know what I mean? Does that make sense?
It does, because I've been hesitant to. The only word I've been able to find to describe what I do is death witch, and
Okay.
I don't like that.
Yeah.
I feel. I mean, maybe that is the common word, but I mean, hi, you know, I'm Erica and I'm a death witch.
Yeah.
Like, it's like, oh my gosh, no, that's not the connotation of it.
Yeah.
So they call it a death doula.
I think so, if I remember correctly, what that term means. But also sounds like you have some mediumship, because you're. I know some death doulas who will actually go and sit with the person in their physical form before they pass on, but you sound like you connect with just their souls, not so much their physical form and their mediumship. So we'll have to come up with another title for you or something like that.
That's what I'm saying. I connect to souls, and I hope I'm not taking too much time, but that's definitely what it is. And if anybody else is out there and they are experiencing it, they're not alone. I'm looking for them too, and I'm sure they're looking for others, because we don't even connect here like we've connected there. And I've actually connected with people in comas. Yes, a relative of mine, and received message, sent it to his wife, and he came back doing exactly what our family members in the council commanded that he was going to come back to do, and he was very successful with it. But he did not want to come back.
No, it's comfortable here.
and I got and these things happen, and
you have a very powerful gift. Yeah, and I bet I understand how heavy it can be. And maybe carrying a different type of crystal on you somehow that can help with something like that, especially when dealing with that, because that's a lot of energy.
Oh yeah,
and emotions, and because we're souls with a body, not a body with a soul. So it's it's a lot. Yeah.
And my body is indeed taking quite a beating.
Yeah,
and sometimes I feel like my mind, but we go from there.
Yeah. We'll help you. We'll get you situated for sure. What was the biggest challenge you faced on your journey, and how did you overcome it?
I think the biggest challenge is one of the most common, and I'm still working on it. It's really learning to not care if the other judge me, and to keep sticking to my path and my journey, and to not be afraid. And I think we all experience that to some degree or another. But that has always been my biggest is fear.
Fear of like what someone else would think about you, or
yeah, exactly. And being judged, like I said earlier, hey, I'm a death witch, I talk to this person, and I know how that sounds, and so a lot of fear, or oppression in a way. I feel I've been turned away from businesses before just for wearing, and I tread lightly saying that, you hope people are having a bad day, but no, because you see in their faces, there is a face. If y'all don't like, you gotta change that face.
I feel like the universe gave you such that great gift because they knew that you could do it, you could handle it, and you have this big heart to help these people and help these souls. So wear that proudly. Yes, and you have a great vibe from you, in your aura, and absolutely keep your head high, and who cares what they think. What tools, methods, or spirits guide your work?
So I guess I kind of went into that. Tools. I mean, fire when I have it, and guides. Some people say they know their guides' names. I have a few. I have a few very primary people that have helped me through this. But like, Sometimes I use tarot cards. Sometimes I would use spirit boards. But I mean, mainly it's just picking up on that energy. It's my own internal, whatever makes us do that. That's my tool, my body, my soul. I don't know what makes that work. And I'm sorry I don't have.
No, that's okay.
And occasionally I'll take out the tarot cards or like the spirit board to kind of clarify if I'm being more direct mediumship, but like that doesn't play into any of that like crossing over or like, you know, it's
no, it's totally okay. I get it totally. How do you stay energetically protected and grounded?
Not very well. I have had many battles within myself, had conversations, and I have been told that I can't shield myself. I've tried. I've worked with others. I've worked with so one of the first people that I started doing classes with years ago was Amy Major, who's a psychic out of New Hampshire. I went to California for a while. She's got a couple books out and so forth. But I went through like, I am a terrible meditator. And if she ever sees this, I'm still a terrible meditator. And so I've asked, and I don't know if it's a block built by anything that I haven't worked with yet. But the other thing tells me I cannot do it. And the reason I can't shield myself is because I feel like that might drop the frequency.
I see.
Is the only thing that makes sense to me. But how else to protect? You know, it comes more through having to ground myself more, which I don't do enough. And I should say that is a practice I need to find. And if there's others, again, like me, they need to really do that if they can, if they're better at, you know, meditating. Yeah.
It's hard. Meditating is hard, especially when you know, your minds go. It's hard to quiet it and sit there and just be in the stillness or the quietness. It's not easy. You're not alone, and that's okay. What's one common misconception about your craft or your work?
That it's evil. Yeah. And I think that, again, that's one of those questions that goes for all of us. But then again, I'm diving into a realm that I think even more so not originated. No, that's not the word. Like, edit that one. The assumptions is the area in which people thought was like almost Satanism or darkness. I'm not that. You know, but again, I'm dealing in some of that area as a light worker, but I'm a light worker in the dark realms, if you will, or in that, you know, energy, and not just in dark, you know, but, you know, the things that I help people are when I get put into their places or what they need. It's definitely.
It's like you're Anubis's apprentice or Anubis's helper.
That was one of my first earlier visions, actually, when I was 8 years old. And I remember waking up. I was living in a house in Woburn, Massachusetts, actually, and I saw a shadow on the wall, and it was this giant jackal. It was about 8 feet tall. It scared the living Jesus. I screamed for my mother, and I didn't realize until recently that was I don't remember how many years ago, and I saw it, and I was like, you gotta be kidding me. Like that was what I saw. And now I know that wasn't any child hallucination. Like it makes sense.
Right. Yeah. Absolutely. And I believe that there are people that have that gifts that help people make that transition. So I think that's your gift and your role and your way that you help people. Yeah, or one of the many things, because I've seen you do many things, so it's just one of them, and it's fascinating, and I think it's wonderful that you're doing that.
Yeah,
I know it's heavy and it's hard to comprehend and explain, and
right, and only on a couple of times have I seen outcomes of anything, and that's for those that are living and have had good things happen, and for those that have crossed over, like I've actually been. You know, if I've seen prior to them passing and knowing or seeing it's coming or, you know, so forth. Afterwards, I've been fortunate. Sometimes there's a room I go to in my dreams. Or like, and so women that I've worked with at senior centers in the past, and I would. After I left, I remember one time having a dream, and I texted a coworker, and I said, "I went to that room. Tell me, did XYZ pass away?" And yeah, she did. It's like a waiting room.
Yeah, interesting. That could be like your quiet spot too. Maybe if there's nobody in the room, maybe you go in the room and maybe you can meditate there. Try to meditate in that space, bring you some peace. Maybe you need closure in that room, or maybe there's a way to get some closure in between each person. Maybe that might help give you some peace and rest and feel a little bit lighter. Just a suggestion. Can you share a powerful or a memorable client transformation?
Like in this, I don't.
Did somebody that you have an interaction with have a positive experience from something they bought from you, maybe a conversation you had, or
yeah, I mean, in regards to the wreaths, if I'd like to go a little bit back to that, to keep it a little more on the upbeat, and again, I can try to share one from each. Is there is people who have just more responded with a joy of it's what they needed, and that it's how do I put it? Something that represents. Sometimes it's something that represents them, And in regards to live being somewhere, I can't speak much about it. It happens a lot on my job, and I like literally on my job spot is. I feel that it's very hard to see picking up things in energy rise that I think others don't, okay? And being able to read situations that are going to happen, and be able to, and not recently, unfortunately, due to my I'm kind of, like I said, an ability to ground, so I'm not always on my toes, but like, where am I going? So and I do this, sorry. When I can point out or try to switch a situation or actually improve the outcome of like how things are going to work out for that individual. Like I said earlier, voice for the voiceless sometimes. And I'm sorry I'm beating around the bush here, but I told you earlier what I do. So, again, I'm not trying to be. No, that's okay. No, you're quite all right. Yeah, there's no wrong answers here. Yeah, sometimes picking up on those things that the people that aren't as sensitive just can't, and not always able to communicate. Absolutely. Yeah, that's good. What sacred self-care practices keep you aligned? When I am able to, I really need fire. If that's what you're kind of asking. Okay. Yeah, whatever works for you, absolutely. To keep myself contained, or it's funny, it can be elemental, long soaks, or fire. Nice. And as I was telling you recently, where I'm living, I am not allowed either. And those are my most. So I'm searching and living in this cycle, trying to find that which will give me, just light a candle. The candle doesn't do it for me. Like if I'm near a fire, I am loading that fire up for as long as I am there, 24 hours. It doesn't, and I will sit and. Like a nice campfire. It doesn't. Right. It can be a campfire. It could be at my cousin's house. In my cousin's house in her fireplace. I can go through half of her New Hampshire cord of wood in like 2 nights. So. Sorry. And see and do the fire scrying and the grounding. Nice. That's nice. Yeah. What does success look like to you as a spiritual business owner? success isn't money at all.
Mm.
Like, to me, success will be walking out of here knowing that I did my best to do what I was sent here for.
Mm.
That I will have made positive changes. I said to somebody today, like, I have posts sometimes and I can't leave those posts. Like, you're assigned something. And in life, we have, and I just hope the success is knowing that I'm doing it right and that the people that are getting the wreaths are getting the same healing that I got from the one that I did originally, going back full circle. You know, again, that was a time of grievance for me. But people have so much. And, you know, I've even made basic, like, pride wreaths, you know, things of rainbow colors, and to, you know, have things to represent strength and, you know, the protection. It's
Yeah, no, that works. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, it's nice that you felt that connection to this day. You still feel it for that one that you received way back when, and to want to pay that forward, so to speak, to give it to somebody else, to give them also that feeling that they will carry with them, hopefully for
right,
however long, right? Yeah,
exactly.
Nice.
Actually, to finding out recently and going through numbers and how many, and it's not a lot, maybe like 200 in the last 4 or 5 years.
Nice.
But I realize it's 200 people that are happy.
Yeah, absolutely. 201. You gave me one when you came in. Yeah, it was very beautiful. I was I'm so giddy that you gave me for the gift. I love that. Yeah, nice. Yeah, absolutely.
That one has specific reasons for it too. Those mushrooms, you know, and leave something on those for the fae or something.
Yeah. I love that. See, there's always, like, every little piece has a reason for it being there.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's awesome.
It's a little offering.
Yes. That's awesome. See, I get goosebumps. I love that. Do you follow the moon, astrology, or seasonal cycles in your work?
No, not directly. No, I'm sorry.
No, that's
right. The calendar thing, I mean, no. I mean, I know some of our basic holidays, and that's why I said, like, the witch title, I don't know if that always fit, you know, because I think we look at a witch and it's you know, you're going to know your Sabbats, you're going to know your holidays. Okay, I don't know what day of the week it is half the time. So I'm sorry, but that's, you know, it's something, again, I said, when I take more classes, I want to learn a little bit more of that practice, you know. My closest experience to that is, it's a full moon and everybody's acting crazy and I can feel the energy.
Yes. No sorry needed. And whether you know the Sabbats or the cycle of the moon or what have you, that, or whether you don't know them, it doesn't make you any more or less of being a witch or a practitioner or being magical, you know what I mean? It's just your practice is different. You have a different focus. Sometimes you have a bigger focus than worrying about what season it is right now. So,
well, thank you for validating because that's my inner monologue, and it's not any disrespect to any practicing witches, friends of mine, those that honor the calendar.
For sure.
Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I think that's a lot of mainstream that are out there that's too much dictating. You know, you're going to have this, and this to be a witch, and you don't. You know, be a witch is a magical practitioner, a magical being, and working with the elements and the earth and just being. And so everything that you're doing, and you're being a practitioner.
It's damaging, I think, to those that are on that journey. I think
it can be,
can be.
Because it will put that little bit of seed of doubt in their mind, and I'm like, well, I'm not a practitioner. Maybe I'm not a witch. No, you are, for sure. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. What's something you wish more people knew about energy work, divination, rituals, what have you?
Wish we had all day.
Yeah.
Because there are so many messages or thoughts on energy work, you know. I didn't understand it all until I met a sound and like technician, if you will, sound and light wave technician. And then it all started putting the science together. And then I started really recognizing the experiences of what we're feeling and the changes and how everything is waves. And it's so hard to, in a short time, put together, like, how am I going to construct this, tell people about the energy. My mother's like, we are all energy. And it's been proven through everyone's religion. I've also taken many world theology classes and stuff.
Nice.
It has also been proven, and when my grandmother was passing last year, 2 years ago now, Alzheimer's, an absolutely insidious disease. She was a ordained minister and a spiritualist and a very different, beautiful soul. And I think that's where I got my gift. Actually, you know what, Grandma, I'm sorry. She was a huge influence on my life. But she started explaining that she was losing colors. And it started with the red. And it started with the orange. And then she couldn't see the yellow. And I think that's when she was the most devastated, because she started losing her art skills. She was also a beautiful artist. And it was my other half who, when I was explaining this, so that's the Reiki, that's your chakra, that's your chakras. And I went, oh my gosh, you are so right. And we are energy. And I researched this, and actually the National NIM, the National Institute of Health, I guess now is NIH, formerly NIM, and all of that, have done research, and I found journal writings from hospice nurses who have spoken about these colors, and they're now doing studies where they're doing using photographic techniques to prove this. And I will forward you, because it's an absolutely fascinating article, and it kind of makes the connection of the soul and the colors and the energy. And it's much broader than that. But I think people have to start believing that this is an energy thing. This is a wave thing.
Well, look at aura photography. They can literally take a picture of your auras, right? And some cameras can even pick up the auras, your chakras, whether they're aligned or if one's brighter than the other, one's duller than the other, right? And fascinating.
And it's not even just the people, it's like the earth, it's the universe around us, and it's that symbiotic relationship that we have with everything, our people amongst it, and also with the earth. And the disruptions in what we're experiencing is nothing more than giant spiritual energy disruptions. So I just, people, I hope, will realize how important.
Yeah, absolutely. And then thank you for sending that article. That's fascinating.
I'll send it.
Yeah. If you could give one piece of advice to someone just starting their path, what would it be?
Don't be afraid. Listen to your instincts. I've failed many times through fear, including the loss of a beloved pet that I possibly could have protected. So I question that. Everything has an intention and purpose, but I was told specifically to bring her in the house, and I didn't, and she was hit within 2 minutes. So those are types of experiences. So you might have scary experiences. Listen to your inner voices. Be strong. Try to find support faster if you can. Try to, unless you really have, Western medicine can really throw a jog into that too. So be careful when navigating your self-discovery. I'm in my 40s. So, and again, this goes back since I was a child. So of course, there's been things involved. And I'm not saying people shouldn't go, because there are situations where those voices in someone's head could be a medical diagnosis and not so much a gift, and would love for that person to make sure that they definitely get the help. But to be very careful in those paths, because there are a lot of people who are not going to understand. And, you know, I'm very lucky. Actually, I've been seeing a therapist recently to help walk me through, and I've been waiting for her for years.
Nice.
For years, because she's one of us. So when I sit there, I can say, hey, I had this dream and this happened. And she's not like, okay, we're going to prescribe you. So, and it's been great.
Good. Good.
So those people, just be strong, be brave, and trust, you know. So.
Good advice. And what magic are you currently brewing in regards to events you're doing, any classes you're doing, anything like that?
As for events, this is the season, so I am currently going to be doing a market through Lulu's. Avalon Rose Cottage is doing one in West Brookfield. I always miss certain deadlines. So anyway, I will hope to be at a Touch of Magic for the 3-day one in October. I saw you've got one coming up in April that I'd like to work into getting into again, because it was really fun doing your market that first time.
Thank you.
That's about it. I'm working with Jenza. You've spoken with her before. She has some things she's putting together for small business, women workers. So I'm trying to start growing a little bit. We've had some stalls and some season slows and growth. Yeah,
that's all right. Everything happens for a reason. So now it's time to the time where it was slow is maybe because you needed to rest or regroup or just something like that, you know. And now that you've done that, you can get back in the swing of things. Yeah, nice. And now for some fun questions.
Okay. I'm sorry if I'm taking
there's no time limit here, and you just say whatever comes to mind. What is your sun, moon, and rising sign?
I am, if I can remember this, I am a Leo. Am I a Gemini? Moon? Yes. I cannot remember what my rising is. Or am I a Gemini rising?
You're a Gemini in there somewhere.
There is. I used to, for a little while, I did dabble in the astrology chart things, and I made a nice little book, and it's all color coded, and you know, and I was really playing around with it. But that was like 15 years ago or so. And again, I don't follow too much of that. You know.
It's okay. Do you have a favorite crystal or herb or tool that you work with? Yeah.
My fire, like soon I have. Yeah. No, I feel sometimes when I answer questions like that, less of.
Yeah, no, don't. Yeah. No, it doesn't define you, for sure.
Yeah.
Yep. Do you have a magical nickname or an archetype that you resonate with?
A magical nickname? No. I mean, I have a native name that was given to me when I was younger, and I really want sometimes to bring that back. It's tattooed on my arm. It's the name I was called throughout my teenage, right? And it does, again, when you look back at all of these steps in your life, this beautiful woman who crossed the Rainbow Bridge many years ago, when I was a child, was my mentor, a beautiful Abenaki woman. And she went on a vision quest and received my name, Ember Eyes. And she explained that it was the fire in the eyes, and that you cannot, fires can warm, fires can burn, you cannot extinguish a fire. Well, you can, and I feel like another thing, just sometimes you feel really vanquished, but just is that the word extinguished? But it sometimes rises again. But looking at it, it's the vision. She saw the visions I was having, the relationship with the fire I was having, and so Ember is more of that spirit name, and I'm willing to share that. But I think I would answer to it, honestly, even though I don't hear it.
If somebody called you?
Yes.
It's a beautiful name.
Thank you.
Yes. Awesome. Tea or tincture?
Tea.
Tarot or runes?
Tarot.
Cauldron or candle?
Candle, if I had to, I mean.
If your spirit guide had a voice, what would it sound like?
I'm like, there is no voice.
That's all right.
That's probably what kept me between here and some other places that I couldn't get out of. So, no, I'm sure maybe someone would say happy or like have a. I'm not sure if I'm saying that's not me, but if that's how other people, I don't. It's just all factual, unless it's somebody like that I'm really connecting, that like my friend's father, or some of these people I've known that's crossed.
It's okay. Not all of them have voices.
No, it's just like I call them downloads, and even for that term, it was really interesting. You go out and you start doing research, and you're like, "Whoa!" Somebody else calls them downloads. Like maybe that download told me it's called a download.
Yeah. And do you have any pets?
I do. I have one cat right now.
Oh,
yeah.
So cute.
I'd have much more, but we're restricted right now.
It can get out of control. Next thing you know, there's like 20 cats running around.
That would be fine with me if we didn't have like lease restrictions and all that. So, and allergies.
And allergies, yeah. So that was all the questions I had for you. Okay. Was there anything else you wanted to talk about?
I don't think so.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
This was good. Yeah, you did great. No worries. Yeah. And don't let anybody naysay you. You know, you're never less than a witch or a practitioner than anybody else. But yeah, so come check her out. I'm going to put the link to find you in the description. You want that to be your Facebook?
Yeah,
okay.
Please. Yes, that would be great, because I am on there. I can be reached, like I said, special orders or anybody interested.
Okay, sounds good.
Thank you.
Absolutely. Let's go check her out. And she makes gorgeous wreaths.
Thank you.
And she has this gift to make. It's not just a wreath. It's like she incorporates the pentacle into the wreath with the way she makes them, and they're beautiful. So go check her out. And as always, come check us out at Enchanted Dragonfly. We are a metaphysical shop at 99 Church Street in Whitensville, Massachusetts. Follow this channel. Give this episode a like. Share with your friends, because they tell two friends, and then they tell two friends. And as always, we love you. Blessed be. Bye, guys.
Thank you.